Hi, I'm Sharon from Now Perfect New Zealand, just giving you a quick tutorial on how to do roses with the bleeding technique. Enjoy! Right, so I'm going to use 75, play the vinyl, and of course our white. So first up, a quick coat of colour, base coat of colour as per normal. Actually, I'm going to put that on there and put that in 30 seconds. Alright. So second coat going on now. And I'm being reasonably generous. Now, it's a bit of a fine line between being generous enough for this to work and being so generous that your product won't cure. So that's something that you're going to have to, I guess, work out for yourself. So now, all I'm going to do is take my fine liner and I'm going to create a tiny little rose. Now I tend to wipe away my brush because I find that you collect that product in it. So I tend to wipe the purple off so that when I go back into my white stays nice and clean. Because I don't want to put purple back in. So I'm quite generous with my product. Because if you want your product to bleed in, you need to be putting enough product on it to bleed. And then one thing you don't want to be doing is rushing it. It's a technique that takes a little bit of time. It's quick and easy, as in it's fast to do a rose. You know, it's not a slow process at all, but it takes a little bit of time. So as you can see, I've just set it there and you can watch it. It's going to slowly bleed. And when I say slowly, it's not a fast process. So don't be afraid to do one nail and then to go and do another nail and then to even come back and do a third one or so. Because as you can see, the longer it sits there, the more it's bleeding. So the longer you leave it, the more it's going to bleed. So if you want it really nicely bleeded in, you've got to leave it for a little while. You know, you've got to be okay with just having it hanging out. So I'm just going to put that on there. I'm still going to leave it a little bit longer. Now, if you're really fussy and you know exactly where you want those lines and they're not quite right, you could go in and add a little bit more product in spots, but just be warned that if you do that, you're going to have to leave it to bleed again. So you're going to have to leave it for a minute. And when I say a minute, what I really mean is sometimes like a few minutes. And the brush I used was my Now Perfect detail brush. I love my Nail Perfect art brushes. So as you can see, that's bleeding in quite nicely. So normally I would maybe even leave it for just a little bit longer, but for the sake of the video, I'm not. So I've just topped that with no cleanse top seal, because again, lazy, and I don't have to cleanse it because it's a tip. Right, so that's cured, and that's done. So you can see how that's bled. I mean, like I said, I would have maybe let it bleed a little bit more, but it's definitely bled out quite a lot from the tiny wee lines that I did. So give it a go, have a play, and don't be afraid to be patient with it and just wait it out. It will get there. Have fun.